I'm not gonna start again, well, the whole thing. I just want to say thank you again for everybody coming. What I do is we start this meeting off by going around the room right quick, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. Tell us about yourself and where you're from. 30 seconds. Desmond, go.
Oh, wow. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, this is Desmond. I was texting people in the chat, letting them my information. New York here, investor in single family homes, buy and hold in Virginia Beach, Virginia area. Looking to go into multifamily, also small commercial, broadening my network with Laddie and others, and reaching out to grow my net worth and my network. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming, brother. James.
Yes, good evening, everybody. James Versco from New York as well. Target markets in multifamily, Jacksonville, Florida, Tampa, Florida, and MSAs in between. Looking to partner with like-minded people from a GP standpoint, and I'm here to learn and meet everybody and just network with good people.
Thank you for coming, James.
Thank you.
Daryl.
My name is Daryl. I'm closing on 104 units in Augusta, Georgia this week. Should be Thursday or Friday. I also have a commercial multifamily masterminds meetup every Tuesday at 11 o'clock. We are an affiliate of the GOB Network and Apartment Investors. And we are about collaborating, getting rid of the competition, and helping you get that deal across the finish line. So if you need funding, if you need a sponsor, whatever you need, we will get it for you. Thank you.
Thanks for coming, Daryl. Thanks for coming. Eunice from up north. Hey, Eunice.
Thank you. My name is Eunice Martel, she, her pronouns. I invest in Canada right now. That's where I live. And I love everything real estate. So I'm here to learn as much as I can about what flavor of real estate investing you guys do.
Well, thank you, Eunice. Thanks for coming. Great.
Is that Blake or Greg?
Greg.
Oh, hey. Hello, everybody. My name is Greg Duyon. I am on the verge of retiring from the military, and I'm a realtor. I'm a residential realtor right now. I'm moving into the section for the sector of multifamily investing. And it's a privilege to be here. My intent is to learn how to be a multifamily investor and to begin to build a portfolio and looking to work with people who are like-minded, looking for an opportunity to work together.
Thanks for coming, man. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Crystal.
Hello, my name is Crystal. I live in New York. I'm retired from the Transit Authority. I used to be a property manager. And one of the reasons I'm here tonight is I want to hear Nicole's story.
All right. Well, welcome. Thank you for coming. Mark.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mark from Brooklyn, New York. I am a fairly new multifamily syndicate. I'm sorry, Laddie, I had to throw that out there, my friend. I'm a fairly new syndicator. I am currently working on a 143 unit out in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and a 106 unit out in Montgomery, Alabama. My target markets are North Carolina, the secondary tertiary markets in North Carolina, the northern parts of Florida, Jacksonville, Tampa, and the sub-markets as well. And I'm basically here looking to connect with everyone. I also host a weekly meetup on Mondays that is geared towards multifamily and everything real estate related. Feel free to join in. Info's in the chat.
Thank you for coming, Mark. Thank you for coming. D. Campbell.
Hi. I don't know if everyone can see me, but
See you now.
I'll be staying on mute and video because of this little girl right here. She makes a lot of noise, but I am a baby wannabe investor. I was invited by Mrs. Pendergrass, and I just want to learn as much as I can about investing in multifamily homes so I can kind of build some generational wealth in my life.
Well, great. Well, welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
Robert, go ahead, Robert.
Yes, thanks, Laddie. Robert Aragona here from Garden State Funding. I put together commercial real estate loans, mortgages for investors. Go from 100,000 up to 5 million. Stated income. And another thing I wanted to point out is the PPP loans. If real estate investors or business owners also, I'll put my link in the chat. There's plenty of government money out there. If you haven't applied, I'll put that in there. They just made it easier for all types of business owners, sole proprietors, self-employed, 1099s. I'll get that in there. If you want to apply, you can go directly to my lender, private lender. Thanks.
Thanks for coming, Robert. Aaron.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm Aaron Goins.
What's up, Aaron?
I'm at the gym right now. I'm ready to leave. So I'm a capital raiser, and I have my own meetup on Thursdays called Landslide and Defense. Targets was military and civilians. I'm just like Daryl. I want to work with people. People shouldn't compete. They should try to work out to make self deals. So happy to be here. I want to hear Nicole's story. And hopefully she can be a guest speaker on my meetup as well. Thanks, Lawrence.
Thank you, Aaron, for coming. She will be. Booker. Yahira.
Hi, everyone. I'm Yahira Vargas. So my 9 to 5, I'm a project manager with a construction management firm. So I'm familiar with the whole general contracting and construction industry. So that's how I got interested in the whole real estate field. 5 years ago, I'm an investor. So 5 years ago, I got into my first small multifamily. And then last year, I closed on my second deal. And, that's going well. So I think I have a pretty good handle on things. So I'm, excited to hear about Nicole's story and how she, scaled it up to commercial multifamily. And I'm also in the Bronx. So both my properties are in the Bronx. Yes.
The Bronx.
And, yep. So yeah, that's my story.
Thank you, Yahira from the Bronx. McCoy.
Oh boy.
Hi, my name is Lisa McCoy. I'm from New Jersey. I have 2 multi-family properties, and just looking to learn more and pick up some more properties, hopefully along the way. And just to hear Nicole's story and learn as much as I can about how to purchase properties now in this challenging marketplace.
Thank you for coming, Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
Carl.
Everyone, I'm Carl Dowden. I'm a real estate attorney, and basically I have an office in White Plains and in Manhattan, but I help people like in the New York City metropolitan area. I can help people with their residential buys and sells, and I'm here to learn about commercial real estate as well and to support Lawrence.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you for supporting me, and thank you for attending tonight. William. You're muted. You're muted.
Can't hear you, William.
William, you muted, William.
No, I know I got a million windows open right now. It's crazy over here. So yeah, my name is Will. I'm a licensed realtor in New York and in Connecticut. I'm an investor as well, teacher, and I'm just here to learn more about multifamily investing and to add on.
Thanks for coming, brother. Thanks for coming. Ken from Eastern Pennsylvania.
Good evening, everyone. Ken Hines. I'm currently in Eastern Pennsylvania, retired Army. I'm currently a single-family rental investor looking to scale up into the multifamily. My markets are Kansas City and Colorado Springs and Tampa, and it's looking to connect and add value in any way possible.
Thanks for coming, Ken. Thanks, bro. Ian, how you doing, Ian? Welcome.
Hey guys, Ian Sharp here, friend of Nicole's, here to support her and meet some more like-minded people. I'm over here in New Zealand, got a couple of dual income properties, a land bank property, and just busy getting educated in the multifamily space in America.
Great. Well,
Okay.
thank you for coming. Welcome. Ooh,
You're worldwide, Lawrence. You're a global sensation.
Sound like Puffy. Okay, Mona. What's up, Mona?
Hi. Hi, everyone. My name is Mona McKenzie. I'm a broker with KW Commercial in the Washington, D.C. area. I'm here to help everyone with their multifamily goals. And I'm also here to hear Nicole's story and to, of course, support Lawrence.
Oh, thank you. Nicole, I tell you, you're on fire. You're on fire.
I feel like super honored and taken aback, but hopefully you guys don't leave disappointed.
We're not. We're not. Good, Eric. How you doing, Eric?
Hey, I'm doing well, thank you. So I'm Eric. So I live in Northern Virginia. I'm also looking for kind of my next deal, my next partners, and I have a 21 unit in Greensboro, and I'm investing in an 84 unit in Phoenix.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for coming. Jack P.
Yeah.
Jack P, tell us in 30 seconds about yourself.
This is my first time here. Greg invited me.
Okay.
And
welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. You got more? No, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
all right. I'm not pushing, I'm just asking. All right, thanks for coming, man. Appreciate it. Tobias. There's Tobias.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Tobias. I went to college with Nicole, and I am excited to learn all that there is to learn. I do not own any properties other than the personal home that my wife and I currently own, but again, looking forward to learning about how I could get started in investing.
Well, welcome, Tobias. Welcome. Thanks for
Thank
coming.
you.
Rick. Come on, Rick.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rick from Phoenix, Arizona. And I have been to Mark invited me, Mark Lawrence and Daryl are all over here. We work together in other areas as well. So glad to be here. Once again, I had missed out a few meetings, but I'm back on your meetup, Lawrence.
Thank you. I was gonna put you out and hold you in the holding room if you didn't come again. Good to see you, Rick.
Goodness.
Good to see you. And my name is Lawrence Laddie. Oh, Ben, here you go. Ben, you able to speak, Ben?
Yeah, hey, how you doing? I'm on the way home from work, so service is going to be in and out. But how you guys doing? I'm Ben Kamika. I work for MC Transit. So I met Mr. Lottie. I'm a raw beginner into the real estate world. I'm looking to learn as much as I can, and looking forward to hear the just speak story.
Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. And my name is Lawrence Laddie again. I have two houses here in the Bronx, two multifamily houses here in the Bronx, and I am looking to partner, JV, gather more information, and I also am here to hear about Nicole's story. So, without further ado, Nicole, I met Nicole a long time ago. It's like maybe 10 years, about 2010. That's when they first started the Bronx meetup.
No.
No?
It was maybe like 2011 or 2012.
Okay. There's a Bronx meetup. Maybe we'll call it the Bronx meetup. And we just met, networked, and that's it. And lo and behold, I start going on these meetups. I see Nicole. I seen it one time before, and it was Dunlap, and she had started a project before, a company before, and lo and behold, here she comes again. So without further ado, Nicole's doing some wonderful things. She's been on 3 podcasts this year alone. 3 podcasts this year alone. And this is only in February. And she's gonna be doing some great things in multifamily this year. And she has a great message. A wonderful why. So Nicole, take it away, Nicole.
Okay. No pressure.
No pressure, Nicole. No pressure.
Hi everybody. Thank you so much for coming, for being here. I'm just going to give a disclaimer I gave to Lawrence before everyone started coming on. I'm hiding in the baby's room, so, for the same reason as someone else has a baby, like, yeah, so that's a whole nother situation. I'm gonna try to talk at an audible tone level, but I'm trying to make sure they don't hear me and start charging in here because it's gonna turn into a zoo. You guys will see. But in any case, my story can be long. I can be pretty long-winded. I'm gonna try to keep it as concise so that we're not here all night. And I'll let some time for any other questions if you guys want me to dig deeper on anything. So basically, I know I started my journey in 2010. I signed up. I went to a 3-day Rich Dad Poor Dad seminar, and my boyfriend, now husband, took me to. And then from then, like, my eyes were open to the possibilities of real estate and that a normal person could actually do it. And you didn't have to be some big, huge, like, hedge fund or trust fund or have billions of dollars or whatever. And so from then I said, oh, this is my opportunity. This is my way out. This is my lifestyle and my freedom that I envisioned for my life in the future. And so I just dove right in and started doing all the education. As a newbie, I didn't have money or credit because I wasn't too far out of college, and I ruined my credit in college. So I know what that process is like, getting your credit back up and how important that is. And so basically after that, I was head first and I joined the RIA. I went to every 3-day seminar. I traveled places. I got on planes. I went to meetups in person then, like, who knew this world today? So basically just drinking from a fire hose and then starting to implement, because I knew you had to actually take one step and put one foot in front of the other. So I started with wholesaling because that's the strategy that everybody directs newbies to when you don't have money or credit. And they make it sound so easy. The process is simple, but it's not easy. It's really a lot of hard work, and you have to be super skilled. And I don't know why that strategy is given to people who are newbies, and is made to seem like it's not a lot of sweat equity that needs to go into it when that's not the case. So I started on my own, and then at some point I was doing it for about half a year or so, and then I got some people together. We joined a little firm, and we started trying to wholesale. We met every week. We had meetings. We went and hung up. We got bandit signs, and we buy houses signs in the middle of the night. We, had a LLC. We had our business bank account. We had, we did direct mailing. We went to the courthouse to pull probate leads and all these other things. So we implemented all these strategies and did all these things. We were close 2 times in contract to get our wholesale deal. And then, but it never ended up happening, even after probably like 2 to 3 years of trying to wholesale a deal in New York City. And we did all those steps and it just never materialized. Around the same time that partnership was ending, I ended up with the New York City RIA. We did a property tour in Detroit, and we liked the progress that the city was making. It was still rough, but we thought there was some good potential to get in on the ground floor. So we pulled some money, bought a few single family rehab flips there. Actually, they were rehab rentals. We rehabbed them out and then rented them for tenants. Our main goal was to get like social services, special needs kind of tenants and work in that demographic to really make a difference in the community. That Detroit is a big other story. So I'm for investing long distance. That's not an issue, but there are some caveats, and I've learned, like, in hindsight, trying to figure out what went in Detroit. And basically, so if you don't have somebody with boots on the ground in that area, or you aren't like innately familiar with like block by block of a certain area, then you shouldn't really invest there. And I think even having somebody who has like an equity stake in your business or in the operations, more than just like your property manager or contractor, because they're not going to care about the business and your properties as much as you are going to. So in order to kind of invest long distance, which is fine, but you need to have some boots on the ground in that market and really know that market innately. But then next step is we did that. One of the properties, as soon as we finished the rehab, caught fire. We had to deed that back to the city. Then the next ones, it was on a deed contract. We were going to sell it to the tenant. And then they stopped making payments. We were going to have to foreclose. And then the contractor sued us and said that we didn't pay him for finishing a job when he actually never finished the work. And that's why we never finished paying him. And so there's like a list, and the city is non-forgiving, because at that time they were trying to get rid of all the vacant properties. And so they were condemning properties left and right. So if you weren't, you know, on the ball with it, then they were condemning your properties. There's no like questions. So yeah, so we basically ended up selling the 4 properties for a loss. And then at that same time, I had actually been looking for my own property. And so I had started with a homeowner's grant that somebody from the RIA had basically told me, oh, there's this first time homeowner's grant. It was $30,000 from Wells Fargo. At that time, I didn't really have any money saved. I hadn't been looking to buy, because who can buy in New York City? It's too expensive. Nobody does that, right? So I ended up going and getting the grant. And I was like, great, if they're gonna give me $30,000, I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, find me a property. The problem is then I always was interested in multifamily. I had went to a lot of multifamily meetups and events and stuff over the years when I was doing my education. So at this point, I always wanted to house hack and get, you know, a 3 or 4 unit property. But with this grant, they had a lot of time restrictions and regulations and just rules to be able to use the grant. And some of those time restrictions made me not be able to look for a 3-family or a multifamily, 3 or 4, like I wanted to, because it just would have taken me too long. I already knew that wasn't going to be a quick thing, finding the right property. So I started looking for condos. I kind of like pigeonholed and went away from what I really wanted, just so I could be able to use the grant. Because in my head, I'm like, okay, I'll qualify for a condo, and then I'll still rent out the extra bedroom or extra 2 bedrooms. So I'll still like reduce my housing costs. I got into a couple of condos. The grant it didn't work because the debt to income, the way they applied it, I don't want to go into all the details, but in any case, all the regulations made me not be able to move to get the grant. So that same condo association happened to have another condo that was vacant that they had a lien on. They let me move into that condo and have a first right of refusal, so that whenever the lien was lifted, I would have the first option to buy the condo, and I would just rent in the meantime. So I did that. And at that time I said, you know, I don't know how long it's going to take for this lien to be lifted. It didn't look like there was going to be any progress. So I said, let me go ahead and do my original idea of sending out direct mail to 3 and 4 family properties in the Bronx in certain zip codes and see what happens. Now I have time because I'm not using this other grant. And I did that. And between doing that and actually going on showings with agents and things of that nature, I ended up getting the 3-family house that I eventually bought. It was a call from the direct mail campaign that I put out. So that kind of, you know, basically changed my life. I guess another thing for context is I was approved through Wells Fargo with the grant for like $200,000 about. And so of course that's for a single family, a single unit. And I was like, what can I buy for $200,000 in New York City? Nothing, you know, maybe a 1 or 2 bedroom condo at the time. And that's another reason that I was looking at condos. But now this guy who called me for this 3-family, he was like, he wanted $535 for it. And I said, oh no, there's no way. I can't, I'm only approved for 200. I can't get a property that's $500,000. Like you're mistaken. You know, that's just not going to work. And he said, no, don't worry about it. You know, just talk to my mortgage broker. He's going to get you approved. Don't worry about it. So in my head, I'm not a good negotiator. In my head, I thought, oh, he's a rehabber. He bought the property. I knew how to look up stuff on Acris, and I looked up the ownership. I saw when he bought it. I saw how much he bought it for. So I knew all those things. And I just said, I'm going to negotiate with him for seller financing, because I'm not going to be able to get qualified for a loan from the bank for $535 if I have a $200,000 pre-approval. That's just not going to happen. And so I said, okay, how about you hold the note for me? He said, no, don't worry about it. You know, I have somebody, I have the best guy. Everybody he had was the best guy, you know? So I said, okay. In my head, I said, I'll play the game. I'll do what he wants me to do. I'll go through this mortgage broker. And then once they give me the rejection letter, I'll come back to him and say, see, I told you. So now can I get my seller financing? That was basically the plan in my head. So we go through the process. I'm about to get declined because of my debt to income was too high, because of my tax write-offs. So if you just were looking at my income now and like my expenses now, like just day to day, that was fine. I would have passed it. But my debt to income was too high because they were looking at the gross on my the net on my taxes after, you know, taxes write-offs and stuff. So we're about to get denied there. And then the mortgage broker says, you know what? I just found another bank that will lend to first-time home buyers without looking at their taxes if they've never bought a property before. And so it said, okay, let's switch. We're about to get denied here. Let's just pull the application before the denial comes through and apply over here. We did that and it went through. And I mean, the appraisal actually came in at 505. So this is another important part. The appraisal came out at 505. He wanted 535. Him and his wife were pretty hard nosed. Like they, you know, they got to where they were like investment wise. They weren't new investors and they knew how to like negotiate hard. And so they wanted me to pay the extra 30,000 out of my pocket and come up with some payment plan for that because the bank doesn't know what they're talking about, what the value. So that's just like another learning lesson. I ended up walking away. I actually, the mortgage broker that I was working with was the seller's mortgage broker. So he did a lot of business with him. The mortgage broker said, don't tell the seller this, but if you were my daughter, I would tell you not to do this extra payment to them. And that's all I needed to hear. I said, the fact that he's putting his business and livelihood kind of on the line because he doesn't know what I'm going to say, you know, and just trusting me not to say anything to the seller and to tell me what he really thought about that. Then I was like, you know what? Okay, just give me my earnest money deposit back. So about 2 weeks later, I still didn't have my earnest money back. And I'm going through the attorney. They're going back and forth. Their attorney was very non-responsive. Finally, I get a call. Okay, the seller's willing to sell for 505. So that was like one of those, I was so disheartened, months of working, trying to get this thing closed. All the, you know, if you guys have ever closed anything, the banks are very like nitpicky. Like I've gotten letters before and say, oh, I need a letter explaining this $20 deposit or this $20 withdrawal. I'm like, are you serious? I don't know what $20 is from. Are you gotta be kidding me? So even to that level, like going through all of that and getting all this documentation, all the emotional roller coaster of that whole thing, to walk away from it when I was that close was so hard. And that's one of the things, like I see that quote a lot where if you're holding on to something too tight, it's actually time to let it go because it'll come back to you, or what you're supposed to have is going to come back to you. Because if you're holding on too tight to one thing, your hand is not open to receive the blessing that's supposed to be bigger and better than what you're trying to hold on to. So that's just my lesson takeaway from that. And they came back and put the deal, you know, because I was running numbers and even paying them the extra 30,000 loan, whatever it was, like a 5-year payoff thing. It would have worked. It wouldn't have been as good as just the mortgage, but it still would have worked. So that's why I was debating it. But I'm glad I walked away because right after we closed, there were so many issues that I had to come out of pocket to fix. And if I had done that, like that extra payment, I would have been completely screwed. And after that, I also had a tenant that didn't pay me for about a year. So it was 3 tenants lived in, it was a 3-bedroom apartment, 3 tenants lived there, a boyfriend, girlfriend, and the boyfriend's sister. So 2 of them, they split it. The boyfriend and the girlfriend were paying their rents together, and the sister would pay me her rent separate, her portion. So the boyfriend, girlfriend, for some reason, stopped paying me rent. The sister was paying me her portion of the rent for that was like half a year. And that's when I was going through the motions of starting the eviction process. Like I was looking at attorneys, and about like November is when we officially filed for the eviction proceedings, non-payment proceedings. And then their lease was over January 1st. So the brother and the boyfriend and girlfriend who were not paying me all that time left because the lease was over. But the one sister who was paying me stayed, and she wanted to bring her cousin in, you know, and because she had been paying and I had good rapport with her, I felt bad and wanted to work out something with them, etc. And so, you know, a couple weeks later, I'm like, you guys still have to qualify. You have to both make enough money to be able to qualify for the mortgage or for the rent. And so like a week later, I'm like, what's happening with your cousin? Is she not thinking? And she's like, oh no, she's not going to move anymore. And I was like, so when were you going to tell me that? Because you cannot afford this 3-bedroom apartment by yourself. Like, I was much more politically correct than that. But in my head, I was going crazy. Like, you can't afford this 3-bedroom apartment by yourself. Like, how are you going to do this? So from that time, she was going through a lot of programs, or so she said, to help make up the back rent that her brother and his girlfriend weren't paying from before, and to help assist with rent going forward. I already knew in my head, there's no program that's going to let a one person with her child live in a 3-bedroom apartment. They're not going to subsidize for that much. There's a certain number of family members that need to be in a certain bedroom count apartment. But she kept looking and kept trying. She didn't want to be homeless. She was about to lose her job because she kept having to take off to go to court and do this and that and go to this social service place and this place because they wouldn't do it over the phone, and every excuse that she could. I was pregnant at the time, and I even went, like, hauled my 7-8 month pregnant behind to the courthouse, like, look, judge, I'm not just some rich landlord here that has like super amount of money that I can just afford to have this person in here. Like, the mortgage still wants their mortgage, the bank still wants their mortgage payment from me. Like, what am I supposed to do too? But in any case, so she stopped paying at that point, and so she wasn't paying, and she was still in there until about September is when the marshal officially came and physically removed her from the apartment. So that was like a big learning experience. This is another reason why I was able to financially afford that, which was a blessing in and of itself. But all right, let me just go to the next part. So that's the troubles with the 3-family. Otherwise, when the tenants are paying, I'm living for free, because the rent from the 2 bedrooms, and there was 2 parking spaces, I was renting those out as well, covered the mortgage, water, common area electric. So from then I was basically making sure I screened tenants very well, because those tenants I got were inherited from the seller, because he was trying to help me. And he was trying to, when I first saw the building, it was vacant. And he was trying to help me to make sure that when we closed, it would be cash flowing day one, and I wouldn't have to worry my little head about finding tenants. So he, of course, rushed and didn't use the same screening criteria as I would have used, because he wasn't going to live there. He didn't really care. And it wasn't for my benefit. He really just wanted to have some cash flow coming in while he was waiting to close. So that's basically the end story on that. But so basically still, it helped me with, saving for my wedding, because I got married during that time. Like I said, I was pregnant. And just, it helped in general, like just living, other than dealing with the stresses of the tenant not paying. After that, and after I got good tenants in, it was great. And then it came to a certain point where I said, okay, I had stepped away from this kind of thing, networking, going to meetups, and really being in it on like the investor side, and trying to, expand my community and get out there and really just do what I needed to do to grow my portfolio, because I was busy putting out fires with the 3-family, growing my own family and all of that. So that put like a little pause in my progress. So I decided, you know what, the first baby was like 1. Okay, I have a little bit more of a rhythm. I know what's going on. Let me start back into this. Let me figure out I don't have a lot of capital now, but let me see. I know there's certain vehicles that wealthy people use in order to just like grow their wealth and not avoid taxes, but minimize taxes and all these other things, like with trust and, all this legacy, generational wealth building, preservation of capital and growth of capital kind of things. I know they have vehicles that the common person doesn't know and doesn't have access to. I need to find out what those vehicles are and at least start using them on a small scale, and that they can grow with me. Because I don't want to waste time putting some money and stuff in mutual funds and then have to pay fees and taxes, selling those to transfer stuff into like some other kind of vehicle. I just want to start with whatever vehicle makes most sense and learn about that. So I dove head first into that. I learned a lot about the main thing that I found out about is like the infinite banking policy strategy with whole life insurance, and then I also found out about a first position HELOC, that basically will just help you with some cash flow and help you with a strategy pay off your mortgage faster. So those are some of the things, and knowing me, I'm quick to action. So I joined the first position HELOC community and started like talking to banks. And I had a weird position. So it took me like 19 or 20 banks to talk to before I found somebody who could refi my house with my criteria. One, a lot of people didn't do New York because New York just has like a lot of restrictions. And then a lot also, my debt to income again was high again, because now I had extra loans that I should have had been able to pay off, but couldn't because I was using that money to pay the mortgage because the tenant wasn't paying. So now my debt to income was like an issue again. And then after that, we refinanced. It finally went through, just hustling a few months of that. And I think I was blessed, or I don't want to say lucky because I was putting in some work, but you can't choose your appraiser when the bank sends you an appraiser. I have heard stories of appraisers who are not from, some of our same communities coming in and devaluing houses because, I don't know, just like I've seen news and pictures, if there's pictures of like a Black family in the house, it automatically gets appraised at like a lower value, because you can kind of tweak numbers a little bit, like pick which comps you're going to use for your appraisal and stuff like that. But our appraisal was a Black man, and he came in and he has some things in common with my husband, because my husband has a bunch of ninja knives and swords on the wall. He doesn't do any of that. He just likes collecting them. So, but that was like a gateway conversation opener. And I really think the guy did his best to get us the highest appraisal possible, which, is definitely a blessing. But also the Bronx had been appreciating and rapidly during that time. So that was about 4 years after I bought. So I bought in 2015, and 2019 is when I got the appraisal, and I was able to refi and pull some cash out of that property. After I pulled cash out, I said, okay, I have this money. I know I want to do bigger multifamily. I didn't want to do it on my own. I wanted somebody who was experienced with underwriting. I wanted somebody who was good at raising capital. I wanted to be able to get into the community of people who were doing this so I could make those connections and have the resources, like what resources are you using for like your accountant and for, property management, and just what markets am I going to? All of that kind of information. I knew I couldn't do that on my own, and I needed a mentor or coach. And that was my biggest takeaway. So I researched a few, I had some phone calls with some, and then I ended up going with the Jake and Gino community, because they just are very down to earth, and they don't preach that 10x, you got to go big, start big. They just start. You could start small and grow bigger. Like, you don't have to start with the biggest property ever. And that's kind of where their mantra is, and always is about giving back and just helping others in the process. So that basically, I joined Jake and Gino in the fall of 2019. I also was debating with another syndicator who was doing like a key partner. He had a different definition of a key partner, where you basically are learning as you're going through like the GP, and there's like different tasks that you're assigned during the process. You invest a certain amount of money, and then you get to be GP, and you get task and stuff, so that way you get to learn as you're investing. You get the LP and GP side at kind of the same time. That didn't work out as far as me working with them, but I was invested passively in the deal. So I am like a passive investor with a small portion into a larger syndication. So at least I'm getting that experience on that side too. And then I joined Jake and Gino so that I could learn how to be an active operator and syndicator. Okay, almost at the end of the story. This has been kind of long. I don't even know how long I've been talking. But in any case, so this was the fall of 2019 that I joined Jake and Gino, 2 months before I gave birth to my second daughter. So I figured in my head that, I can basically just use these last 2 months to dig into the education as much. And then at least I'll be on maternity leave, and I can use that time to like go back and forth to my market and figure out, what's going on, make a face there. If I'm building a business in a market, I need to be there to actually like meet brokers, go on property tours, meet other investors in the area, so they know that I'm serious and I'm there. So I started doing that December, January, February a little bit, and then March came and, you know, COVID hit. And so all that was kind of shut down for a couple months. So basically I was just doing all my marketing virtually, not marketing, but my networking virtually. And at that point, a couple months later, I ended up joining a mastermind group called the Make It Happen Mastermind because of COVID and because I still was kind of working on my own. I really didn't have that day-to-day interaction. I didn't have a partner to like call and say, okay, did you underwrite anything today? What are we doing? Can you call that broker and I'll call this banker? Like, it's a lot of work, and to split it up makes it more manageable if you have a partner. I didn't have that, and I wanted that just immersion into the culture of it on a more regular basis. So I joined the mastermind, and I've been in there ever since, like summer 2019 is when I joined there. That's when my two mentors there told me to start posting on social media, let everybody know what I'm doing. Because all this time I never posted about my real estate really on social media. I just thought like the people around me know, you know, the handful of my friends know, but I never posted about it. And so now I've just dove head deep into that. And I've been posting about social media all the time, like trying to network and reach out to people, new people, experienced people, doesn't matter. And just having so many convos. I haven't been on the phone so much in my entire life, probably combined, as I have in the past year. But it's been great because then I started just getting on the phone, and I was on the phone with somebody in the mastermind group, or Jake and Gino. They would say, oh, you have to talk to so-and-so, you have to talk to this next person, you have to talk to this next person. So it kind of bounced me around person to person just with my networking. And eventually somebody in Jake and Gino said, oh, I know somebody in your market, you should talk to him. So I said, okay, good. I talked to him. We hit it off. We talked a few times. And then a few months later, a 6-unit property came on the market. It was listed on the MLS. I saw it and I said, okay, that's a good property for me to analyze just for some more practice with my underwriting. He actually called me the next day and said, my property manager thinks that this is a great property to go after. Would you want to do it with me? And so that just, you know, went to the next step, and we started the process. We put in an offer that weekend, and 2 days later, our offer was accepted over a few other offers. And we closed in December of 2019. So that, and now I'm here, and I've since closing there, I've been on a couple of podcasts. I have a speaking engagement at the end of March. And it's going so fast, and I'm so like, I don't know why. Like, I feel like I'm still so small and so early in my journey, even though it's been a long time. I have like the vision of where I want to go, where I want to take things. And I'm like nowhere near there. But I also realize that my story is helpful for people who are still starting that journey or just want to know like different things. Because I've actually, in hindsight, thinking about it, I've tried a lot of things, and I've put my foot in a lot of things here and there, just trying to see what works. And that experience is useful. And I do have information that I can share. I love talking to people and kind of giving my honest feedback about, you know, your specific situation and what I think, you know, could help you. Of course, it's just my opinion, but I just love helping, because one of my goals and one of my whys now is to really help other people of color get into the real estate space, especially the bigger commercial real estate space, because I feel like I'm privileged enough now to have one foot in the door. And I did work to get that foot in the door, but now I want to climb. I want to pull as I climb, basically. I want to bring people along, and those opportunities I want to be able to present to people who normally wouldn't have had access to them. So that is the story. And I will open it up for anybody want me to dig in deeper on any particular topic of that. There's so many lessons I've learned in hindsight over that. But anything else that anyone wants to dig in on, I'm welcome to open to answer questions.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you very much. Before we get to the questions, right? I'd like to take a quick picture of everybody, number one, right? You can form your questions, right?
All right.
And then, if you have any questions, we'll be on here for Nicole, or so somebody might jump off. We're gonna have one breakout room. But before we do that, let us take a quick picture, please. All right? Everybody put your cameras on, please. Everybody put your cameras on. Everybody smile. Daryl, you smiling? Okay, everybody smiling? Very good. Once again, one more time. Thank you. There you go. Everybody smile. Yeah, I got 3 pages. Wow. One more time again. Here we go. Thank you. Okay, so anybody has questions for Nicole?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. After searching and finding out different investment criteria, levels of criteria, condos, 3-family, now a 6-family, have you settled on a certain standard that you want to focus on in a certain field? Is it commercial 5 and up, or would you ever buy a 2-family again, or would you just buy a 5 and 6 and up after learning and learning?
I definitely will want to focus on 5 and up. And actually, even to me now, like my market has a lot of 5, 6, 8. So it is a smaller market, but I really would like to go at least 20 up. So we'll see how that goes, where I can get that deal flow from. I will buy a 2-family though, for my family to live in. So we are looking actually right now in Westchester to buy a 2-family, and then we'll use the income from the 3-family plus the income from the other unit on the 2-family to basically cover the mortgage of the house.
So you find it more of your niche, finding deals is where your strength may be, and then hiring out management maybe?
Yeah, because when I'm building the portfolio, the whole point of this is passive income, really. So I don't want to, I mean, I'm managing the 3-family just because it's here, and it makes no sense right now for me to hire a property manager for it. But as far as the 6-family, yes, we have a property manager. It's also a 2-hour drive for me, so that's not something that I want to definitely try to build systems to make this whole investing experience as passive as possible. Because I want to manage the manager, not asset manage. I don't want to be day-to-day property manager.
Right. Okay.
Anybody else have a question?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. I have some experience with jumping into that wholesaling space. Why do you think it was so difficult to wholesale in New York City? Because I found the same thing. You know what I mean? Why do you think it was so challenging?
New York City is, I think I've thought about this a lot. New York City is a competitive market. It really is. And there's a lot of big money trying to come in here that has they don't care about a return. The prices are high. It's New York City. They just know it's more of a preservation of capital kind of play, where they're not looking for cash flow. And so when big money like institutional and foreign investors can come over and basically buy up everything cash offers, or they don't need to go through all the hoops that someone with a little bit of capital would have to go through. So I also think that, and I also think we were just ill prepared. I think at that point, I didn't know the importance of a mentor. Like I did know the importance, but finding one, I didn't know how to find one. It was all about make sure you can give value to your mentor or you have something. But when you're starting out, it's like, what skill set do I have? I'm still learning. How can I give value to, someone who's been doing this already? So in hindsight, I wish I had thought a little bit more outside of the box when it comes to what outside skill set I have that's transferable to somebody maybe who's doing it, or come up with some other creative way to give value to somebody who's actually doing wholesales or rehabbing and flipping properties maybe, and maybe there's one that they don't want, and then we can wholesale that one. But if I'm working with them as a team, then maybe that's something like that would work. So I think it was the competitive nature of the city, and then us not having some mentor kind of guidance, and then also us not realizing how hard it was going to be. So it's like they make the process seem so simple. What is a simple process, but it's just not easy to continuously implement.
Can I add to that a little bit?
Hold on, James.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, because some people had their hand up quick, right? So I'll come back right to you, okay? D. Campbell. Go ahead, D.
Nicole, would you suggest someone start with a like smaller unit, like 4 and under, if it's their first real estate buy? Or do you think someone who doesn't have any experience like myself, has no properties, can start with something like 6 families and up?
You can, you can start with 6 and up or 5 and up. You just really need to, it's more about the education at that point. Either way you go, it's about the education. If you're gonna do 2 to 4, something like that, it's about the education. If you're gonna do 5 and up, it's about the education and just surrounding yourself with the people who are doing it. So it is possible. It's a lot of work. And then it depends too on what you're bringing to the table, like what your time is, like what asset do you have? Do you have time? Do you have capital? Do you have like the network and community that you can pull people together? So just kind of figuring out what your strengths are and how you can contribute to the team, because basically any real estate is a team effort, especially when you start getting to the commercial side. So I don't think it's necessary that you have to start with, you know, a smaller unit count. You can start on the commercial side.
Thank you, Nicole. Jonathan.
Hi, Nicole. Thank you again for sharing your story with us. I want to ask you about house hacking. I'm looking to invest in a residential multifamily home, preferably 3 to 4 units. I understand it's a lot of things, but what would be your best advice when it comes to investing in a expensive market similar to New York and New Jersey?
So I can't say enough on the education. I think I had been studying real estate for so long before I got my 3 family that I wasn't nervous or scared about it, because I was more than ready. I felt like I was over prepared, even though you never know until you start doing it. There's a thing about studying too much, because that's like analysis paralysis, and then you'll always wait for something to be right. You want to jump in because you're going to actually learn more on the doing than like in any book. So besides that, I think finding a good mortgage broker, because like my story was, like a lot of people will go to like one bank and try to get a pre-approval or something through a certain bank. That bank has a certain set of criteria and you have to fit in their box. So with a mortgage broker, he has a lot of boxes because they work with, or he or she, they work with multiple lenders. And a lot of them may not even be any lenders that you've ever heard of, because they could be smaller. You're like, people know about the big name banks, but like my first bank was Rushmore Loan Management. I never heard of them before. They're like based in Florida. I would have never found that on my own, you know? So a broker can really take your financial situation and put you with the correct lender where your criteria is going to fit, like your debt to income, your just your credit score, your everything that, you know, needs to fit. Some lenders are a little bit more flexible, especially if they're holding on the loan and not selling it on the market, then they can be a little bit more flexible on their terms. So I think that's a big one. And then just making sure the numbers work for whatever you're trying to accomplish. So if you want to live for free, then make sure that the mortgage that you can get, just run sample calculations, know the mortgage, what that's going to be on a monthly basis, and what the rental income is going to be. And so as you're looking at properties, run the numbers first. You know, don't, if your number can be close to what the asking is, then yeah, go for it. But don't fall in love with the property just because you're going to live there. Like, yes, it has to work for your lifestyle, but the numbers have to work first.
Very true. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. James, go ahead, James.
Hey, everybody, thank you. Nicole, that's a great story. I heard it. I was in a breakout room with you last week and you started telling your story. That's what got me inspired to reach out to you. I have a similar, start to, where I've been, and just to maybe add a little bit to the question that Will had. We did have a mentor for our wholesaling endeavor. And we just had some of the same problems that you had. The direct mailing, the zombie properties, the bandit signs, and we were trying to reach out to people who were, just on the verge of losing their property and, trying to offer them a way out. And we just were not getting any any responses, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of direct mail campaigns and cold calling, and that's what made us kind of follow in what you've done, kind of get into the multifamily space. So your story is very inspiring, and continue to follow you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, something you try something for a while, and if it's not working, don't be scared to pivot. It's not quick and it's not quitting. It's just making sure you're not climbing up the wrong ladder.
Yeah, thank you. Anybody? Oh, go ahead, Yahara. You're muted. You're on mute.
Okay, how about now? Do you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, hey everyone. So my question is more, in direct relation to what James was speaking of about the direct mailing. You mentioned that the way that you got the 3-family was a direct mailing campaign. So I guess that's new to me. I'm not exactly sure what that looks like or how that works. Like, how do you even get addresses, or where do you even begin? And I recognize that, taking that approach, you get access to properties that aren't on Zillow per se, right? So like, what does that look like? How do you even like get a list, or how do you know who to mail?
So there's a lot of information on strategies for direct mail campaigns and what are the best demographics that are, because you're looking for someone who's kind of distressed and they're in a situation where they need help to get out of the situation. So it's a win-win. Like maybe they're a pre-foreclosure, or maybe like their taxes they're a little behind, or maybe they had a death in the family and they inherited the property, but they don't want it. So there's all these different strategies. You can look at listsource.com. That is a place where you can pull lists of property owners. And I think that there's different strategies. The strategies I used was a non-owner occupant. And I picked the zip codes that I wanted. I made sure it was 3 and 4 families. You can also do like on how much equity, like is it paid in full and they don't have a mortgage? Maybe they're underwater because people do short sales, that kind of thing. So there's just like the strategies are way too much for me to name every one right now. I'll try to find some examples or some resources to send you. But non-owner occupant, mainly the thought behind that is that the person who owns the house doesn't live in it. So if they don't live in it, why not? Are they an investor? Did they inherit the property? Did they have to move and now they're still holding it because they don't know what to do with it, or they can't sell it or whatever? So there's multiple reasons that people would not live in a property, but have it there. So that's one of the strategies. Yeah, and another thing I did with direct mail, because there's a lot of thing about trying to get the open rate as high as possible. So handwriting is a big thing, either using handwritten font or handwriting the envelopes yourself. And then a lot of people use yellow letters. For some reason, yellow letters are like yellow paper, just notebook paper, is something that's proven and tested to like have a higher open rate. But what I did instead was I mailed my cards on a holiday. I picked July, the only holiday around when I was trying to do this was July 4th. So I picked July 4th. I ordered a bulk of like blank cards from Amazon that had American flags and pictures of that all on the front. And then I did handwritten font and like did printed letters and pasted them on the inside. And then I hand wrote every envelope and put a real stamp on every envelope. And that was like a strategy to try to get the highest open rate that I could get. So I did get a good few calls off of that.
Okay. Okay, good to know. Thank you.
No problem.
Good, Mark.
Nicole, great story. I appreciate you sharing. I learned a lot, took a lot of notes. I wish I could show. Just to piggyback off what you said in regards to the wholesaling thing to your hirer. Nowadays, I know there's like a ton of different vehicles that you can actually use to do mailers. They have this new thing called PropStream. So it's like a software that was created where you can they populate all the lists for various owners. So it could be fire housing, house out of fires, whatever the case may be, code violations. So everything's populated on that platform, and you can simply just, as you mentioned, choose your demographic of what you want and who you want to target, click, and then they pretty much send the mailers out for you automatically. So you pretty much cut all the the in-betweens and you save that time. So that's a great resource. I've used it. It's very good. There's definitely a monthly subscription to it, so you might want to look into that as well. And there's other various ways of doing it as well. So hope that helps.
Sure. What was the name of the platform? I'm sorry, I missed that.
PropStream. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of businesses out there that do yellow letters for you. Then they cost more because they're doing the work. So it just depends on how much marketing money you want to attribute and how many mailers you want to send out. I was trying to pinch some pennies there, so that's why I was forced to do it myself.
Okay.
So you know what? We're gonna break one breakout room because we're running real late tonight, but that's okay. No, wait a minute. I thought it was late. It's only 8:06. Okay. Yep. Okay, we're gonna do one breakout room, 15 minutes. All right. This network, Nicole, I want to say thank you again for sharing. I took my notes. I'm gonna show mine. I took notes. I had my little yellow pad, took a lot of notes and whatnot. Thank you for coming on, and continued success in all that you do.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I put my contact information, my email and website in the chat. And all my social media is linked through my website. So you can reach me on any, like I have LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. And then my name, Nicole Pendergrass, so you can find me that way too, if we're not already connected.
Okay, and I want to say thank you to everybody coming. And we can go to right now to the breakout room right now. 15 minutes. Get your paper and pen ready. Get some notes. There you go. Desmond Campbell. Oh, hello. Oh, that's still mute. Hey, Sharon. Oh, Sharon left. Nothing. Oh. Anybody left? People left. Okay. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. Woo. Ah.
Oh my goodness, the daughter is making a big pool. That's a lot of gas.
Nope. Right.
Oh. Are we the last? Okay, here we go.
Another room. Oh, main solution.
What's up, fellas? All right, I think we're back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm back.
Oh, kind of cool. This is the first time I do a networking event and then a breakout.
Yeah.
This is how we do it.
Hey.
Hey, Lawrence.
Yes, you gotta show me how to do
Usually it
this.
puts everyone in the same room. Like it's a breakout room with everybody in it.
If I wanted to show Mark something. So after everything is over, could just for about maybe 5 minutes.
No problem.
I wanted to show Mark something on the underwrite.
Okay.
Make sure you stop the recording, Lawrence.
Right. Okay.
No, cause don't stop the recording because Lawrence could use it later.
Right.
For himself as a tool.
So I appreciate everybody coming, and I usually an hour, This is usually meets to be an hour, but these last few weeks is going over. And I apologize.
Julie on you.
I want to respect people's time. What do you say again? I want to respect people's time. So if you have to go, I understand. I'm sticking around for here, but Darryl has to show Mark about underwriting. And if you're not familiar with underwriting is you're analyzing property to make sure that it fits your criteria to pass for something for you to put a letter of intent on. Okay? So if you want to stay, that's great. If you have to go, that's understandable. All right. So to those who have to go, have a good evening. For those who are staying, welcome aboard.
All right.
Out.
Have a good night.
Lawrence, can you send me the chat, the downloaded chat?
Surely, I'll send it to you, Nicole.
Okay.
Right?
Gracias.
Nicole,
you
you
again.
want to talk soon? Email me. Thank you, Nicole. Excellent.
No
Thank you,
problem.
Nicole.
Thank you for having me.
Aaron said,
Thank you,
Aaron
Nicole.
said,
Hey,
please.
Greg. Email me, Nicole. Tell me what time. A good day.
Yes. Didn't we pick the day already, Aaron?
Can you drop your info again?
Oh, yeah,
Nicole?
July,
I
right?
don't have it.
In July.
July, right? Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Nicole, can you drop your info in the chat again, please? I definitely need to reach out as well. Might need you
Sure.
to jump on my meetup too.
Okay. Let me.
Thank you.
You see must see
I think we all
TV.
gonna.
See must see TV.
Nicole on our meetups, right?
See must see TV. That's what it is.
Yeah,
I gotta get my spiel more concise. That's the reason we're going over.
Listen,
I'm too long-winded.
I'm the perfect meetup to start off with. So there you go.
Wow.
Practice me
Wow.
perfect.
Here it is. Wow.
Lawrence, let me share my screen.
Battle of the
Hold
meetup.
on, hold on. Let me make you.
I see.
Hold on. Right here. Where you at? Down right here. More co-host. Bam. Bam. Go ahead.
Okay. Give me one
All right. I'm out of here, guys.
Nicole, thank you again.
See you later.
Nicole, have a good night.
Pleasure.
Nicole.
Bye.
All right.
Great meetup, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you, Robert.
All right, Robert.
Talking to you, Robert.
Bye.
All right.
All right.
All right. Here we go. I think this is the one. Right? Yep, here it is. Okay, so let me share my screen right here. All right, cool. So Mark, with this is remember what I said about the loss to lease, that it was a gain to lease?
Mm-hmm.
This is on that property right here.
Okay.
A gain to lease. So what you're going to see is, that when you get ready to do your underwrite, you got to take this into account, and you have to also, you also have to take into consideration if there's already a gain to lease, are you going to be able to raise your rents due to that situation, as you know, to where it needs to be, because he's already well over by, if you can see right here, by 3.58%.
Okay.
So the question is, so what happened that he's well over? And I also looked, if you look right here, I checked the market to see what the rents are.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I backed out because I wanted to see the difference between what his market rents were. And so now the loss to lease was only 1.5%. So as you can see, I don't really have room to raise my rents on this particular property.
Okay.
At all.
Hey, Darryl.
Yeah.
Go over some more. Go over some more to my. Go to the other way.
This way?
To the left, right, to the left.
Left.
Yeah. Vacancy. Where did that come from? I don't see that lost. All that is an SDA.
Right. Yeah, this is the SDA.
No, I'm saying all that's a vacancy, lost to lease, bad debt, concessions. All that's in there.
No. On your SDA, no, it's not going to look like this.
Oh,
No,
like what
no,
is
on my SDA, I break it out
okay?
because I want to see what we were talking about earlier. I want to see every
Right.
single item,
Mhm.
because when you clump these three together,
Right.
you would not have known that you actually had a gain to lease, because these two negatives would have made that a negative. If you add these together,
Right.
that would have been a negative. You would not have really known that you had a pretty good size gain to lease.
Okay.
I like mine broken out, and
Okay.
I break mine out
What
like
is the
that.
gain to? What's the gain to lease? I never heard that before.
You're over the market. And see right here.
So as
Take a look.
opposed to loss to lease,
Right.
where the rent is this and the market is this.
Right.
Loss to the gain to lease is where you at the point already. You can't go no higher on the rent.
Right, and he's already above the market.
Right.
See?
Okay.
So
Okay.
right here, if you was to these are the market rents that's on the T12.
Right.
But if you look at the market rents that's on the OM, they are less than it. So he already pushed the rents above
What they are.
Above, yeah. See right here.
Right. So therefore you have no way of raising rent anyway.
That's it. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gain to the lease, loss to lease. Okay.
Right.
Good enough.
Now the other thing I was telling you about right here, right? So this particular property has because I don't want to shut this go and take up any more time. But so this particular property has all the gizmos in there, right? You lost to lease, vacancy, blah 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 blah. Right? So let's say that these things from here to here, let's say that these things were not there, right? So the only thing you had was this information.
Yeah, and that's the
right there.
Right. Okay.
Right. So if you only had this information, this is collected money. So he's already taken into account now remember, if none of this is here, none, zero, not even this, nothing, he's already taken into account vacancy loss, bad debt, loss to lease. He already took all of that into account.
Right.
So what you have to do is open up his OM. Oh, let me see. Yeah, I could do that. Open up the OM because for this you need to get I'm gonna have to share. Here it is. So you open up your OM and you pray that on his unit mix he have the markets.
Okay.
Right. Let me show you.
Yeah.
Did I just pass it? No, I didn't. Here we go. Nope, that's not it. There it is. So see right here, he has the market rent. So this is what you do. If you get a T12 and it doesn't have no losses on it, nothing, it's just giving you the collected money, go over to the OM, get the market rents that's right here. That's going to give you your gross potential. From there, you subtract from there that the amount of money collected and the market rents. You subtract, and what that difference is your loss to lease.
Okay. Say it again now.
The money that you collected,
right,
and your market rents. The difference is your loss to lease.
Okay. Okay. So. Okay.
So Daryl, so what you're saying is if you don't see no loss on there,
correct,
then you're going to you gotta see what your potential are, because you can raise the rent, but if it's nothing that you can't really raise the rent for that, right?
No, you can once you get the gross potential,
right?
and you see that your collected rents are below that market rents,
Right.
so that's telling you that, yeah, you can raise the rents because of the difference,
Right.
right? Because of the collected. He's only collecting, so just subtract that, and that's going to be your loss to lease. Then go to your rent roll. Once you get that, go to your rent roll. Let me just pick a rent roll. Here's a rent roll. Then go to your rent roll. Now this, you see how this rent roll is right here? When I'm done with this sucker, there won't be nothing here except for names and rents. That's it. I take all the rest of this crap out. I don't want to know about the rest of this. But when what you do, once you what you could do is just pull up only your vacants after that. How many vacants do you have?
I don't see nothing. Hold it. I don't see nothing.
What you mean?
I don't see nothing.
Yeah, we only see your
Oh, you
your
can't
drive.
see that. Oh, I got you.
I
So
think
let
you
me,
need to do like a video on these things, Daryl, and share it, because these are stuff that I definitely need to know, and I'll be trying to figure it out.
But you just said before, you take all this stuff out. What do you take out?
You see, hold on a minute, I'll show you right here. You see that space there?
Right.
I take all of that out. All I want to know is this part right here. And that is the unit size, square footage, the name, the market rent, the rent that they're paying. Really, I don't need to know this until later, but I do leave it there because, of course, we got to know what leases are coming due that's going to be expiring. So I do leave it, but the rest of this here, I remove. I don't need all this. So I just do like this right here. And it takes time. I do that right there, and then I hit delete, put this stuff in a row. Then I sort it out so that all I gotta do is hit the button and sort out all of my stuff to make it so much easier.
All right. Okay.
But that's what. But once you get your market vacancy, and Mark, when I was talking about going in the back door, that's just what I was talking about. That's what I'm talking about here. And all you gotta do is say, okay, because what deal is that you work with? You gotta go in through the back.
That's the 143 in Carolina.
Okay, so because that's only book now, and the reason why you're doing that is because he doesn't have the information.
Yeah, they're running all three assets as one.
There you go. Okay, that's right. I remember that now. Yeah. So what you do? Find out what the market rents are for that area. Find out what the market vacancy is. Find out what the market expenses are, and that will give you your NOI. Get the market cap, and that's going to and that's going to give you your purchase price.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and I could I could run the report on it so that you can have an idea of what the market rents are. You will see what the vacancy rates are, the market vacancy rate. You want to know what the market vacancy rate is. And then all you got to do is get the market expense for that area. And a good person that may know that would be David Monroe. He may be if he has access to IREM, he could tell you about what that average expense ratio is, and from there, all you gotta do is calculate the purchase price.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that first thing.
Yeah. So when you get a chance, just send me the addresses to all the properties, and I'll send you a report for each one.
Okay, cool.
At least you'll have that part done. All you gotta do is then get just the expenses.
All right, I'll send that to you tonight.
Cool.
So Daryl, how long on average it takes for you to underwrite a deal now?
I could underwrite a deal in what, maybe an hour, or yeah, just to run it straight through. It could take about an hour, maybe even a little less, to be honest. What takes me the longest time is if I have that T12 and it looks like what I showed you here, that takes the longest time, because I'm going to take all that excess stuff out.
Okay.
I'm going to clean all of that crap out of there. So I could sort it all out, man. And then I attach, and then I move the rent roll and the T12 onto the analysis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. So then
Well,
go ahead, Jack.
I was gonna say, Daryl, this is my first time here, and I was looking at your OneDrive. You get some great spreadsheet. So I don't know. Do you share the spreadsheet or?
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of them, I think, I would love to have them, to review them, and so that I can do.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll send you the SDA.
Okay.
That's the one that I just had up. The one that had the loss to lease on it.
Okay.
Hey, send it to Everson too, man, and I'll go over that with him.
Yep. Sure enough, will.
Okay. Okay, hey, Darren, can you send me that too, please? I'm not an Excel guy at all. I can type stuff in, but I'm not Excel. And
I'm gonna tell you something.
Hey, look at Lawrence's eyes. You can tell something when Lawrence's eyes get big.
Lawrence, I'm gonna tell you, man, that course by Justin Kevel, that was an excellent course.
That was for Excel, or just for the underwriting.
Not for the underwriting and Excel, because that course is 9 hours. It's going to take you a little longer than 9 hours, because you are inputting those cells, that formulas and those values into that Excel.
Okay.
And then you're testing it and you're running it. And I'm telling you the truth, when you're done, I'm gonna tell you, I think I only, when I got started, I was pacing myself at like maybe three sections. Right, man. I said I gotta slow down just a little bit, and I wound up doing 2 sessions per day, in the mornings. So that way I was I was able to understand and stuff like that. Now, and he's so cool. I wanted to implement certain things on my analysis. So he even worked with me on, because I like doing things, man. I like messing with it and putting stuff on my on my Excel. I be messing with the formulas, but he was nice enough to really square me away on all of that.
Okay.
Seriously.
So I right for right now, I can't. I'm just like I'm trying to do this, do that, and I'm working at the same time. I can't get with it right now.
No, I don't blame you, and I wouldn't if you because it's going to take time.
Yeah.
When you're building a model with waterfalls, and you're building, oh man, it's going to take time. Seriously, it really is. It's going to take time.
I'll be finished with work. We're at the end of February, March, April, and the middle of May. 2.5 months.
2.5 months. You're done.
That's it. 2.5 months, bro. I'm done. Done with work.
You gonna have a party?
No COVID.
A Zoom party.
Oh, maybe my daughter. I think my daughter's gonna have a Zoom party. I'm listening.
Yeah, we got a Zoom party.
I'm a low profile kind of guy. You know what I'm saying?
Hey Lawrence, everybody bring their own dish.
Bring your own brown bag. I don't drink. Bring your own brown bag. Bring your own dish.
Yep.
I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna make me some oxtails and some rice and peas. What?
You didn't say oxtails, bro. You don't know nothing about no daggone oxtails.
I mean, my parents from Jamaica, but I'm Jamaican.
Man, you don't know nothing about no oxtails. You don't know.
I'm only 5 minutes from my job. I can come home for lunch, hit that daggone pressure cooker. We have rice and peas and oxtails in 1 hour, fresh and ready to roll, bro. What?
Yep.
Oh,
Hey,
man. I'm gonna bring me my Haitian food, brother.
Huh?
I'm gonna bring me my Haitian food.
Bring you some Haitian food.
Hey, bring it.
Let's go.
Bring it.
Go.
Bring that fried pork and all that, man.
Oh, I don't eat no pork, man.
What?
I don't eat no pork. Bring some goat.
Listen.
You got that too.
Listen. Shalom. Don't tell nobody. I eat the pork. What? Eat the pork. Yes. My aunt is from Jamaica. She eat no pork. My sister, she eat pork. Husband don't eat no pork. If we have a cookout and then she wants some like pork, we got to put a separate side for her because the husband don't eat pork. I'm sorry. Everybody has their own thing. Bring it on, Brock. Now me and Brooklyn and Bronx, we can meet with that, bro. Yes.
Listen, man. When this thing is over and done, man, with this COVID thing, man, we got to get together.
Definitely, but we could listen.
There's a nice place. There's a nice place in Brooklyn. That's called the Smoke Joint. I know.
I thought it was Mark Caesar's house. It's called Caesar's house.
Of course, I'm the Smoke Joint, man.
Huh?
That's a smoke
I ain't coming
joint.
to the Bronx.
No,
Brooklyn.
Whoa.
The Smoke Joint is in Brooklyn, man.
Nah, listen, I haven't been to the Bronx in a while, man. It's been so long.
I know, because you know the people. Hey, people in Brooklyn, Jack, you don't know this, but people in Brooklyn, Brooklyn's the biggest borough, I think, next to Queens.
It's the fifth largest.
Huh?
Brooklyn is the fifth largest borough.
Fifth largest borough? No,
Yeah.
Brooklyn's the biggest borough in New York City.
Nope, it's the fifth largest borough.
What's the biggest borough in Brooklyn?
I don't know.
I thought Brooklyn was the biggest borough.
Here we go. I'll tell you right now.
Hold
on.
Queens is the biggest borough, and
wait a minute. Hold on. What's the largest borough in New York City?
It's Queens.
Queens?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Yep, Queens.
And then it's Brooklyn, Staten Island, Bronx.
Right.
Manhattan is the last.
So Jack, a lot of people in Brooklyn, they don't come to the bridge because they got everything in Brooklyn. And my daughter had a friend, Susan Canarsie. She said she don't come to the Bronx. She don't come she go downtown Brooklyn and go back home. Like, wow. So we're gonna come to the hotel. Let's go to Mark's house, right? We go to Mark's house for dinner. There you go.
Listen.
Bam.
I listen, more than welcome, brother. As long as I hear COVID is done, more than welcome.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
Get some of that New Year's soup. That's what I want.
Yeah, I'm Haitian, and Mark gonna cook some great Haitian food.
Oh, see that, Mark? Uh-oh. You got a visitor.
You want that New Year's soup, brother? That's only on the first of the year.
That's on the first of the year.
No other time but that, brother.
What's the New Year's soup?
It's squash,
right.
Pumpkin squash. Different people make it differently, but it's a once a year thing we do every the first of the year.
Because I bought a book for my granddaughter. I was looking at TV at work, and this woman wrote the book. She's Haitian, and she told her parents she's Haitian roots, and she wrote a book about the soup.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I forgot the name of the book. I sent it to my granddaughter. My daughter likes to cook. She sews. If you want to get something embroidered, my daughter does it. She has a sewing machine for $3,000. What? What?
Aaron.
Nice.
Aaron.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You Jamaican too?
No, sir.
No,
he said that, bro. Why you say that?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
You from the South?
American.
I'm from Baltimore.
Baltimore.
You're
from Baltimore.
He from the house music. What?
Okay.
Exactly, Lawrence.
Straight off the book of The Wire.
House music. Oh, so that's
You
The
know
Wire.
what the deal is?
Straight off The Wire.
I know in New York City, y'all happy Bobby Smurder back.
Bobby who?
Who?
Murder.
Bobby Smurder.
Oh no.
If he ain't helping me with this real estate business, I don't really care about who he is.
Hey,
he ain't putting money in my pocket.
I don't blame you. I got some like that too.
Hey, Aaron, we got some house music right here, bro. What?
Hey, I'll come to New York City. I haven't been in a long time.
I got my DJ stuff set right here.
Do you really, man?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you know Lauren's a DJ.
The real turntables or them little
No.
things?
Listen. Them days that long. I got 4 techniques sitting here right now in case. I have 4 techniques. I haven't used turntables. I stopped using turntables in 2008 when the Serato came out, and that was it, bro.
I knew Lawrence and Les Brown had something in common. See, I knew Lawrence and Les Brown had something in common.
Who's humping any more records? And you're not a real DJ if you ain't got records on the computer. Yo, hump some speakers and some amplifiers and some wires and all this stuff there, and then the record crates down some steps and tell me how you feel when it's over. Please, no.
Yeah, them record crates are heavy.
What? Them records?
Yeah.
I carried 2 bags of records. I had a big crate like this big, like about 5 feet. Who got time? Then you got to put the amplifiers in the turn. That's why I had a truck. The truck broke down. I had to change transmission 3 times.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm about to bounce, but
Jack, good to meet you, man.
Hey,
yeah.
nice to meet you, Jack.
Yeah, Daryl, if you could please send me the P&L template that you have.
Yeah.
So, it's looking nice, and I guess I will see you guys next Tuesday.
Jack, you signed. You became a member of the group.
Yeah, I'm on MeetUp.
Good. Okay. Good.
All right.
You put. I got your email too. You got your phone number there too.
So I just put my email. I'm gonna put my phone number right now to everyone.
Okay, great.
All right.
What's your last name?
Pierre.
Pierre. Okay.
My brother in arms right there, laddie. Make sure you take care of him, man.
Yes, sir.
You better.
And if I don't, you come to the Bronx?
I sure will.
All right, guys.
Oh, now you come to the Bronx now.
Wow. Wow, I never heard Mark Caesar be so aggressive like that before. Wow.
No.
Hey, listen.
The aggressive part is not the issue. The issue is now he's gonna come to the Bronx. Wait a minute. You come to the Bronx now. You want to come to the Bronx now?
Listen, man. One of my good friends lives in. I think she lives like right outside of Parkchester, so it's all right. I could make that trip, man.
Okay. Just checking.
Hey, the last time I went to the Bronx, when I was a kid, I went to the Bronx with some friends. Man, they chased my behind out of the Bronx.
You from Brooklyn? That's why.
Yeah. they chased my behind out of the Bronx. It was a gang, man. It was a gang of Puerto Ricans, man. They chased our ass out of there. They were like, yo, get up out of here. Y'all guys from Brooklyn? Come here. Get out of here. Oh, like, yo.
Don't go see no girl. Don't go to no place to go see no girl from the block. You from another, you from the Bronx? What? Are you, yo.
Yeah.
You better hurry up.
I got chased out of there, boy. Man, we would jump. I ain't never in my life did anything wrong, man, but I jumped that turnstile.
That's why my check was short.
You know, laddie, you should have stopped recording a long time ago for this part, man, because too much evidence in here now, brother.
Oh yeah, you gotta stop that recording.
Like, yo, I just realized that he's still recording. You gotta edit
that, man.
Yeah, you gonna have to trim that, laddie.
Yeah,
you gotta edit that.
Oh my gosh!
I don't need no police knocking on my door.
Hey, Mark, you gonna put that on LinkedIn?
Huh?
Don't do that, brother. On LinkedIn. You gonna kill all our credibility before it even starts, man.
Exactly.
Fresh in the game.
At this time of the game, at this part of the game, they'd be like, "Really? Okay."
I'm good though. I'm good.
Yeah, we know because you out and why you ain't gonna do nothing, right? Let you nothing.
He in Amazon land over there, so he all right.
But listen, I gotta jump off. I gotta do a quick Zoom, another one right quick. But all right, y'all stay cool, man.
All right, gentlemen.
Tomorrow night is Yona Weiss. Is down. Who he has on tonight? Tomorrow night.
I don't even know either. I'll check on his LinkedIn page to see.
Let me tell you, see what's happening.
I'll ping both of y'all tomorrow for my meetup. I mean, for
Yeah,
my
yeah.
thing.
Definitely,
Yeah.
I'll definitely jump
For
on that.
Clubhouse.
Send it out, bro. Send it out.
All right.
Send it out.
All right,
All right, man. I'm
Well,
ready.
good
I'm
talking
ready.
to
I'm
you,
ready.
man, as
I'm on
always.
Julie's already.
You who what?
I'm on Julie's already on my computer. I have you guys on my phone.
Who's Juvie?
Julianne Pearson.
Zoom at 8.
Oh, Jimmy. Oh, Julie. Oh, Julie. Okay. What time is it? Oh, man.
All right, guys. I'll talk to y'all, man.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all.
I think he's a
All
Jimmy. Who's Jimmy? Julianne. I'm sorry.
Y'all have a good night.
Peace,
All right,
y'all.
man.
Please. All right.